Greetings, this is Trina Riamentra, half-elven YouTuber. I come to you with this reaction to Critical Role Campaign 3, Episode 28. Tonight we follow once again the Saga of the Bells Hells as they make their way through the world of Exandria. So as we recall now, they're currently actually in Exandria's Exandria's version of the Fey Realm. With some sort of Fey dragon creature ridden by some. A lot of people are thinking Archfey. I doubt that. I feel Archfey could just end them. Like that is like just a deity. They're not even level 10 yet, so yeah. But still probably still a high level Fey. Before I continue on, I should probably note that I do not own nor am I associated with Critical Role, the YouTube or Twitch channels, YouTube or Twitch channels, or any of its other online presence it may have. I am just a fan sharing with my fellow fans. I keep forgetting the name of the direct distraction, but one of the things that staying for the proper thing, the proper recap for Matt. He has the notes and stuff of what every name is. I will be attempting to is this a wait? Yeah, that's the whole thing. Wing and a prayer. It's been hard to find time to try to get my reactions to Legend of Vox Machina. You guys know I have the power of speech, right? Anyway, Legend of Vox Machina. I'll be trying to go after do reaction to their watch parties instead, like do multiple episodes. So let's see. Just want to have more tabs open on this. I can't forget okay, I've already tried into the science and stuff, and I have stayed silent. What's going on? Not now. Not while my recording's going, please. Okay. As I said before, I'm going to be trying to record both parts tonight because of my schedule tomorrow. What is, I will not know. But if I seem like a little sleepy and still go for the end of part 1, if I still keep going, you'll understand. Hopefully this won't be a long episode. Well, as I said, this is part... Oh, I should keep mentioning this is part 1. I was remembered on part 2, but... Of course, you clicked on the video, the title that says part 1, so... Yeah. And now for tonight's episode of Critical Role. I decided to just...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons.
Whenever I say Sam not at the table.
Tonight, we do have our first sponsor, Skillshare. Sam, who do we have with us tonight?
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Don't die. Oh.
Rody Slater is back, brosifs and betties, but I swapped my waxed-up longboard for a gripped-down, fresh deck. That's right, Rad Sacks. I've survived a shark attack, and I'm changing careers from primo surfer dude to wicked skater bro. And I got all the thrashing moves. Check this out.
Don't kill yourself.
What? Oh! That was a crooked Healy Snoopy flip. Oh!
Yeah, we know you're not on board, Sam.
And that was a goof troop testy bone.
I thought it was a testy bone.
I did it all on my board. Yeah, my moves might be dialed on lock.
Yeah.
But changing careers can be gnarly. That's why I dropped in to Skillshare. It's got classes in photography, film and video editing, and illustration. But not only that, but also hundreds of career-focused classes too, swiggity.
I agree.
I used Skillshare to explore my career options, learned freelance tips, took a class on redoing my resume, found out how to grow my audience with video marketing all online, which means I had mad minutes to do some new tricks. Like this one that I'm gonna do on my board. Whoa! Oh, that was the O-Town Jodeci. This is the 98-degree dream street. And this is
Nailed it.
the Millie Boy's own vanilla. It's hard. I've become the swaggy-waggiest skater on the globe, and Skillshare is the speed cream on my metaphorical bearings. Now, could I have used Skillshare to switch to a more honorable career, like becoming a registered nurse where I could help people in their time of need?
Yeah.
Being there in the ER when a single mom brings in her daughter, late at night, scared about little Jenny's fever, trying to stay strong for the little girl. And I'd be there getting the patient onto a gurney, taking vitals, rushing her through to radiology, helping her with a diagnosis. Don't worry, I'd say to the mom. It's a simple bacterial infection. We're gonna push antibiotics, get an IV going for fluids, bring the temp down, hold her overnight for monitoring, and then the look on her face when I say Jenny's gonna be okay in a day or two. It's a magical moment. She thanks me, and I say, no need for thanks. I'm just doing my job, ma'am. I could have done that, but nah, I became a skater instead, because no goal is too small. Shred the gnar! The first 1,000 critters to use the link skl.sh/criticalrole02231.
Rolls up the dice.
We'll get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Matt, Ollie to you.
Oh, God. Don't break the set. Do not use the set. Don't break the set.
It's worth more than you.
Oh, God.
See you later, bro.
Bye. Mom.
All right,
Mom.
Travis.
Seat back in
You,
this.
you want to let him know about Legend of Vox Machina, please?
Hey, Legend of Vox Machina Season 2! You guys, episodes 1 through 9 of the Legend of Vox Machina Season 2 are available right now on Prime Video. The last 3 episodes. The last weekend of Season 2 will drop on Prime Video worldwide tomorrow, February 10th. And our final watch party for episodes 10 through 12, bro, will air live next Tuesday, February 14th at 7 p.m. Pacific. It's been an amazing season. We go out with a bang, so we'll see you there.
Fantastic.
Ah,
Charlotte, you got some stuff to talk
What's
about?
up, y'all?
no, I think
this?
Yeah!
this might be the art.
It's our new Critical Role.
There are a lot of romances are
It's
happening.
so comfy. You should check it out in the store.
Will they be in my size too? 'Cause
There's
you've been wearing that
it
around
comes
our
in
house.
sizes.
Oh god, that actually
You
looks cool.
should check it out.
I've been
Also,
wearing this too much at home and it makes me jealous.
no joke. We also have an Essek playlist.
What?
T-shirt.
Oh, it's got like
That's
Oh, isn't it so?
Look at all the gravitas.
Dude, hot boy, hot boy. Artist Leo Presland.
I
Thank
really
you.
love that.
I can fix it.
Goal.
I
Yeah,
can
make
fix
it
it.
What size is that one? It's
That's
medium?
right,
I
that's
can wear
exactly
it.
what I
That one's
said
mine.
about her.
I know.
You taking
Why
it?
the shirts match.
I don't know.
But yeah.
Oh, that one's
You
mine.
want it? You can have it, Matt. It's medium.
Well, unless you want it.
You take it. There will be more.
I'll take it.
You said it first.
Lovers, please. There'll be more.
We'll share.
No, I can't.
But to that point. to that point, I believe that brings us to the end of our announcements. So it's time, I believe, for us to jump into tonight's episode of Critical Role.
Oh my god.
One by one we climb until we reach the top. 2 by 2 we fall. Will we meet our end or meet our destiny? Hold your breath and roll. How do you want to do this? It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery. Who knows what will happen? But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. From the healer to the renegade, we all share the same goal. Adding more allies, taking more chances. Hold your breath and roll. It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery. From darkness our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready! It's Thursday night.
And welcome back. So, last we left off, Bell's Hells, after traversing crossed plains to the Fey Realm, in transit to destroy one of the Malleus keys that had been constructed and prepared by the Ruby Vanguard under Ludinus Deleth in preparation for the coming Apogee Solstice, a climactic celestial event that promises to bring an apex of magical power and change to Exandria. You've come through after meeting the long-spoken about Grandma Mori, Nana Mori of Fern, began to walk amongst the various unexpected dangers and odd encounters here on the darker side of the Fey Realm. Infiltrated the Shiver Keep, where one of these Malleus keys lie, after spreading out amongst the interior of the courtyard and finding a means of destroying the Malleus key, sending it exploding and left a tangled mass of metal and flame. You also called the attention of the Sorrow Lord Safuda, riding atop his Fey dragon, known as Gloamglut. You begin to flee the courtyard of the keep into the forest outside, heading westward, more or less from where you attacked this key, in search of the gate that you told would lead you back to Exandria. But in the process, sustained some blows. Fern, you are knocked to unconsciousness, and you hear the screeches above of the now angered Sorrow Lord and his mount flying above the forest, searching for you, his current prey. Indeed. You are currently hidden by one of your Heracol veils that can keep you mostly stealthily hidden as long as you're not moving. But
We're using all of them, right?
We have to. They cover 3 people.
yeah, 3 people each. So for all
Although
of you,
that would use 2 because Orem's teeny and he can hide in people's legs.
I sit on Chetney's shoulders.
That's true. The size
That
of
makes
one
one
person.
Or under one of the
I'll allow
ladies.
I'll allow it.
Because I can run under anybody's legs,
Yeah.
That's true.
except for F.C.G.
That's true.
This soundscape is freaking me out.
Yeah, I love it.
It's really, yeah.
Well, you're back in the forest now. And
You're in the jungle, baby!
screeching above in the trees.
No!
What are you doing?
Oh, wait, he's gonna. Yeah, Fern's gotta be in. Let's bring her back. Bring her back.
Fern, make a death saving throw for me.
Oh, jeez.
Matt, you don't gotta start like that.
Why? Yeah, why?
She hasn't even
My
opened
heart
her
just. I
dice
haven't
yet.
even opened it.
Well, this is a good reason to.
What am I? Okay.
Use one of the
What
tiny
do I
invisible
roll?
ones so that none of us see. Do I roll a D8?
I know. What do I? It's a D6, right? What am I adding again?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. I think that rolled that over.
Yeah, it did.
It's a 5. Oh no.
That's one failed death save.
That's okay.
No. You guys have just
okay.
charged just a little bit into the forest, and you put the veil over.
Yeah.
Correct. I need you all to roll a stealth check to see if you are seen in this moment
Oh,
by
God.
the
All our
pursuing
bells and
entity.
whistles are spent, right?
Except we get, but we get
We get
one
plus
extra
10 from the
10.
because of the hoo-ha.
Yes.
Yes.
Hoo-ha.
Terrible. Like terrible.
That could have been worse.
All right, we'll start on this side. What you got?
20.
20.
That's
Okay.
not terrible. That's
I
not
rolled
bad.
2 twos.
Yeah, but we got a
Ooh.
plus 10. 20 is still a good roll.
All right.
27.
20, 27.
3
Wait, how?
Plus
plus
10.
10. Oh, 13. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Okay.
It's still real bad.
You're
Do I
unconscious.
roll?
No, you're unconscious.
28.
You're very quiet.
Okay.
26.
26.
23.
23. Oof. You stay there still, throwing the veils over you and just kind of bracing for any sort of emergent aggression from above. You hear the screech once more, the wings. You hear other voices shouting in Sylvan. The one amongst you could understand them, unable to interpret at the moment. From atop the parapets and the walls of the fort, as they're beginning to gather their forces to search amongst the forest grounds as well. What are you doing? They do not seem to notice you at the moment.
Okay, great. We gotta bring it
Glumglatt is
back and
just
start
circling.
All right. Maybe I should flip a coin to see if I should
should
cast
just
the
bring her
spell.
back.
The Changebringer has been guiding me all night. She says to do it. Okay. I will cast Healing Word at first level.
All right. Go ahead and roll your d8.
Okay, but quietly.
Roll your D8.
Oh, D8. Sorry. That's it.
That's too loud. That's too
Oh,
loud.
no. It's an 8 plus 3, 11.
There you go. Turn this into the critical role
He's
ASMR.
the
What did you say?
point.
Oh, I said okay.
You rolled well.
11 hit points.
It's a golf game.
Yep.
11. Wait, what did you say? 11. Okay.
Does anyone have any ranged anything?
I have ranged
Heal at
spells.
range.
Like that you can send and make a sound somewhere else?
Yes,
Send
I
it.
do. I have a spell that I could do that with.
I have a question about the Horn of Silent Alarm that we haven't talked about in years.
Yes.
If you blow, only one person can hear it and nobody else can. Do they know what direction it came from, or does it just sound like a horn in their head, like a signal, but they don't know, like omnidirectional?
I will say if you're trying to draw attention with it, I would say it's a sphere, and the sound kind of emanates from the sphere.
Mm-hmm.
I'll interpret that as you can attempt to aim it in a way where you can try and make it sound like it's coming from a specific direction, but that'll be a roll to see if you can achieve it, being that it's an item that you really haven't used before, but you can certainly try.
It's probably like a performance check, right?
Yeah, you're a great performer.
No. My sheet would say otherwise.
Yeah, but you'll have some guidance with you.
We gotta get up and move, y'all. The dragon has flown away, right?
No, it's circling. Like it's not directly above you, but like it's like getting lower and you hear it like scoot nearby.
The minute we hear it fly past us, we need to get up and move.
Yeah.
Your spell that you were talking about, is that... You can't see where it came from, right? You can, like, emanate it from afar?
I can use catapult to launch something really far away from us.
Yeah,
Send
that's
something
good. We
in
just
a
got to make
direction,
a...
and I can pick it up from far away
far
too, so
away.
it's not like it's coming from us.
That's the way to go.
While we're just sitting here, I will give you 4 temporary hit points because we're still bonded, I believe.
I'll pull out a very, let's call it a miniaturized pickaxe that I have, and I'll hand it to you if you want to use that to...
Well, it'd probably be better
How
to
long
grab
have you
something
had
like
this?
60 feet away from us, so that it doesn't feel like it's emanating from us.
Oh.
Is there anything on the parapet that we can see?
Or loose branches or fruit.
Oh yeah. I mean, but I can see like rocks or whatever, or maybe
Oh, yeah.
just feel out and pick up a rock that's like 60 feet away from us.
Yeah, I'd say you can see a number of loose stones and chunks of exposed shale and rock that you can throw.
Okay, then I'm gonna pick something.
Gesundheit.
Oh my god. I'm gonna use a sorcery point to double the distance of this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pick something up that's 120 feet away,
Whoa.
Okay.
and I'm gonna launch it up to 90 feet. away from that.
Away from that.
So I'm gonna launch it into the woods, like down the wall, like away from us, the opposite direction that we need to run.
Try and head eastward, because I think
Yeah.
we've got to go west.
We've got to go the other direction. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna send it that way.
Okay. So go ahead and roll d20. Add your spellcasting modifier to gauge the precision of your toss.
Okay. 13.
13. That's not too bad. You go ahead and concentrate, and you see the one section of kind of exposed gray rock with moss growing out of it kind of shake a bit before it kind of dislodges, floats in the air before you send it off in that odd direction as it goes no longer visible, just vanishing past the canopy, and you hear nothing for a moment beyond.
Go, 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 go.
Okay. We're running.
Stealthy
Stealthily
moving, but yeah,
moving
and then like
slowly.
the minute we hear him coming back, we got to drop again.
Indeed. So, well, as it goes off, I need everyone to make a moving stealth check, which is a different. No, you're no longer under the veil while you're moving.
So just straight
It's
stealth.
a straight stealth roll, and this is the first leg of your stealthy journey forward.
Okay. Okay.
17.
17.
8.
8. Okay.
6.
Oh, God.
6.
Damn it.
11.
11.
13.
13.
18.
18.
Pretty bad.
21.
21. Okay. You all go into a run and continue on in what you think is the proper direction. Who is leading you which direction, by the way?
Who led us here? Was it Fernie?
It was me and Fern, I think, because we were.
Yes, it
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wait, I did for part.
Yeah,
of it.
you, us three did.
And then also Pate did his aerial sweep.
Right.
Okay. Heads we go right.
No,
tails
we
go
know
left.
we're going this direction. We know which direction we're going, F.C.G.
Going left.
We're going.
And Orem is straining, peering and straining with his ears for anything ahead of us or to leap out of the bushes.
I'm keeping an eye out for like
Understood.
roots ahead of us that we're gonna like trip over and shit.
Okay. So who's guiding the path in the direction where you think the gate might be?
I think I know.
All right,
Go,
go ahead and roll
FCG.
survival or nature, your choice.
Guide yourself.
Guidance.
Better not fuck us, change.
No way. The Changebringer would never.
Never.
Literally.
She'll raise interest rates, but she won't.
Survival, you said?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Wait. What? Okay, that's 16.
Survival
plus
or
the-
nature, whatever.
That's 19 survival. 19 survival.
19 survival is not that bad.
Yeah.
You push through the dense portion of this forest, which is all directions of this forest, but you begin to gauge where the keep was, where you had come from, the directions that you had already discussed and had heard to travel towards based on what Maury had told you. Now without the Ruidus illusion in the sky, which you've been using for bearings during this whole journey, it's a little bit more challenging to find where you are and where you're going from here. But kind of, yeah. But gauging where the keep was, looking where the gate was, you were able to quickly allocate where you should be going and believe pretty confidently that at least you're heading mostly in the right direction. And you all rush through the forest, dodging between the vines and trees and bramble thickets and hills that drop off, and one of you has to stumble for a second before somebody else catches you. But you just keep pushing forward, pushing forward. You hear more shouts getting distant. You hear other war bands beginning to shout in response in other parts of the forest. Looks like the unseelie forces are gathering towards the escaping entities that attacked the camp.
Oh, God. Get out of here.
Just as you begin to hear,
Drop.
carving through the forest, this beam of black flame tears through like a laser. You watch as tree branches fall, thick bunches of leaves and nasty-looking tangled vines and roots just hit the ground around you. Everyone that rolled under a 10 stealth, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
It's like apocalypse now.
Oh no. Okay.
Does Vern roll?
Under
You
10
rolled,
stealth?
no, you rolled a higher than a 10.
That's right. I rolled 11.
11.
Thank you.
9.
9.
Okay.
Guys, it's not a race to the bottom.
Oh my god.
So 31 points of fire damage to each of you.
Are you guys up? Are you still up? No.
No.
Both of them? Both of them?
I'm okay.
I'm down.
As it tears through, You watch as F.C.G. kind of stumbles onto the ground, poof, 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 landing and then barely able to pull yourself back up, eyes a bit bleary. Laudna lays there, crackling.
Oh shit.
Okay, I start.
Charisma
Pop,
saving
pop,
throw.
pop, pop, pop.
Charisma saving throw
what's
for
this?
strength of the grave.
Strength of the
But we're
grave.
keeping the thing over us.
Indeed.
Hope it didn't burn up.
Fuck! It was almost a 20. No.
We're patting the flames out.
I'm patting the flames out. I'm gonna curve over because I have a healing potion.
Hang on, let me make sure.
I got it. I got it.
You got her?
Yeah.
Do it now.
Okay.
Let me make sure. Hang on.
Do it now.
I'll
That's good to have.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I'll pat her with cure wounds.
Okay.
Bloopy. You're up.
You need to heal
Oh,
yourself,
8.
F.C.G.
8, sorry, D8. Shit.
Jeez.
Well, it's only a 3. You get 6 points of healing.
Yikes.
You're
I
up.
had 6 points.
Yeah.
That's up to them.
And you are awake.
All right.
You come back to consciousness for a second, and right as you notice now that not only did that tear through some of your friends, but it also created an opening in the trees above you, and there's now a brief clearing where you now hear circling back around after the original strike. You all rush back into the forest to continue your journey. I need everyone to make another stealth check as a
Is
group.
this with the... This is moving or under the
I guess it's
things?
up to you. Do you want to stay put and...
He knows where we are.
Does he?
I think
He
they
just
should.
hit us and we screamed.
While we're also making the, can I pull out the horn of silent alarm? And
If
I'm
you'd
gonna
like to,
I'm gonna
yeah.
give it a shot to try and direct it
Stop that.
the other direction away from where we.
Horn sounds a little interesting.
Yeah.
You were expecting.
Hey man, I just like positive chimes, you know.
Good luck.
So as you watch as Gloamglet begins to like pull up after that original airstrike and about to turn,
Help me now.
Yeah.
But are we
That was
rolling
awesome.
moving stealth or
hiding stealth.
stationary stealth?
that's
What
what
are
you
we
guys
doing?
decide. While we're going to finish this here, and then we'll come back to what you guys
Probably
are
need
saying.
to...
All right. So as you blow on this horn, I'm going to say. I think for this, either make a performance check, or make an Arcana check. It's going to be an understanding of how the magic works, or trying to just play the horn at a proper
Because he
distance.
doesn't know. He might have just hit something.
17.
17. All right. As you blow the horn, you watch as Chetney takes a deep breath and just puts all of it into this horn, but it's silent. Absolutely silent. You also
sucks. It didn't do nothing.
you also watch as a Gloamglet who's like suddenly their head shoots to the left and goes into a dive in a very different direction than the one that you were heading.
Nice.
You have a brief moment here
Let's run.
that absolves you of having to make a stationary stealth
Then we
roll.
gotta run.
Okay,
we gotta run.
Go. Run.
So you go into a bolt during this moment of distraction.
4
so,
charges, that's 1.
Okay.
continuing on, you all continue to run. You push through some of the heavier, thicker pieces. You get to one element
I forgot.
of this mid-forest where it drops off about 15 or 20 or so feet below.
Yours
You can
in
attempt
10
to
minutes.
either climb down, slide, or just make the jump. What do you do?
So
Throw ourselves.
5
Well,
minutes
no, we got
before
people hurt, aren't we?
Real.
commercial break starts
I
at
still
5
got-
minutes
Should Arnold
I still have
Schwarzenegger
Featherfall,
Predator
though.
the thing?
before the
I think it's 6, right?
before
I can Featherfall.
midnight.
Orm doesn't need it.
Orm doesn't need it. That's just fucking.
How big of a drop is it?
You said
15
15 feet.
15
I'll take
feet.
that part.
Yeah, I can take it too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
I'm leaving.
Oh, they're
Okay.
going.
I mean, I assume we're doing this, right?
We're going.
I'm gonna wait for that
expediency is
feather
the-
Yeah, I got it.
Acrobatics
And-
check for anybody
and-
who's taking the lead.
And a minute before 2.
Can I do an athletics?
No, actually, like so,
Athletics?
yeah,
Oh,
this
No,
one.
this is acrobatics.
Acrobatics?
Good, so it's not
What?
a
Yeah.
super
So I'll
long
do
enough
Featherfall.
one.
Me,
That's
yeah,
good
me,
tonight. Me
you,
tonight.
This is trying to
us
stop the
four.
tumble.
Okay.
Do one
They're
third.
gonna
Or
jump.
to use the
Okay.
tumble to stop the attack. So
13.
All right.
13,
Featherfall.
okay.
11.
What?
11. Yeah.
11.
Wow.
Then I'll Featherfall you.
Slip.
Then I'll I see Orm slip and I tag you as well.
Okay.
Whoa.
And I rolled a natural 19 for 21.
Okay, great. So both of you from the tumble only take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you both kind of slam into the ground, but roll out of it and get back to your feet and just keep running. The rest of you kind of like jump.
I'm holding on to help you if anybody isn't featherfall. Is everyone else featherfalling?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm.
It's not that's not an extremely slow descent. It's more like a leap and then a glide. But you almost
Hit the
tumbling
ground,
down
keep
and
running.
feel yourself, grab that sort of momentum and continue to glide downward. And so you all hit the bottom of this like brief cliffside and continue bolting forward.
Firework, I think it did.
You hear the screech again in the distance.
How far in the distance?
You don't know. You can make a perception check if you want to try and engage.
Yeah.
Go.
I ate Orem.
Okay.
You ate me?
So you get an advantage.
I always have
Oh, then you should just go.
Yeah. So,
Now, balls.
I mean, that's very possible that might swallow me whole. 25.
Oh, that would have been good.
25 for perception.
25. About 600 feet away and closing quickly, at least in your direction. The ruse has bought you some time, but they're definitely back on the trail, as it is not just sound that it utilizes to hunt.
So do we see any type of anything that could be used as cover in the distance?
I mean, there's plenty of cover around you, but it's all natural, tangled thicket.
Not stone
like
or anything.
boulders or-
You, at your high perception roll, do see a tower. A thin needle-like tower.
Oh, we're getting to the towers again. Fuck. Which is also gonna make us glow.
Or maybe,
we have
are
to-
we already glowing? How far ahead of us is
We
that
have to keep our
tower?
distance from it.
I'd say it's probably about 400 feet or so.
Okay, and within like 200 feet is when you hit the glow of that tower.
Indeed.
So
Who's
we need to
leading?
make a
So we need to curve
circumvent it.
around it, and that thing's closing in on us. So we need to veer to the side, veer to the right, and look out for another one, so we don't accidentally
We have
stumble
to
into its
thread the
neighbor.
needle.
Thread the needle.
We gotta glean the cube.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Who's leading this next leg of the journey?
I'm gonna do it this time.
Okay.
Just to try to see any additional towers coming and keep an ear out for what's but.
All right, Sablecast leader, go ahead and roll a survival or nature, and then a perception will be required as part of following that up.
16 survival.
16 survival, very good. And then roll perception as well.
That one's cocked, but I rolled real high on the other one. That is 28.
Great. Orm impulsively begins to dart a little bit to the right and kind of gives that sort of physicality of follow, and the rest of you kind of fall in line and begin to dart kind of right behind you. At this point, elements of the forest floor are beginning to grow a bit muddy, and you begin to hear the footfalls as quietly as you can make them amongst this like mad sprint, that kind of sucking noise, which is a little challenging if you're not going for a stealthy, progressive direction. But you begin to try and use the higher ground as you find it, leaping from the base of a tree root system to the next rock or stone. Orm does this seamlessly, while the rest of you have a little bit of a challenging time keeping up necessarily, but you're able to kind of stop and make sure that everyone's still staying in line.
How's our tail?
You see it. You see the shadow pass, and it goes over where you were heading, and it's just circling around now. You watch as it passes over one of those towers. It alights and glows brightly purple as it kind of enters the radius of one of its effects, but it doesn't mind being visible. It's not the one trying to hide. And it begins to circle back around, and it's kind of making a wide berth, and it's now in a secondary scanning phase, looking for where you all vanished.
Wait, do you think that maybe it's reading the magic? It keeps finding us while we're hiding.
I don't think it. I think
I don't
those.
think it's found
They're
us
nanomories.
yet.
No, I think they're.
I think it's just trying to clear the field.
Keeps getting worse when we stop it.
What are you guys doing?
So it's still far enough away, or it's starting to actually encroach.
It's circling the area. Like it looks like it lost you, and now it's just in a scanning mode now.
What happens if we just really care? We don't move fast. We just stealth. Like, what if we just move very fucking? I don't know.
I kind of think we're gonna keep moving because it's just gonna keep burning down this bramble.
They can smell us.
Yeah.
Do a number then.
Maybe.
But I am going to reach down and start covering myself with the mud.
Okay, you're full on predatoring this?
Yeah.
I'm
Time
too
for
late.
you.
Yeah, I'm fucking down for this too. Oh.
All right.
I was kept these looks for
We'll all
400
do
years.
We'll all do that.
Yeah, I'm
All right, that was a good idea. I'm gonna copy.
That's shit. That's poop. Fine.
They poop though.
Called
so
the
it's
shit
like-
poop.
So wait, are we hiding or are we running?
We're hiding. I think we should hide. We should bunker
mudding
down
it.
for a second because he might sense movement. That's my guess.
So, are you moving forward, or are you
No,
staying
we're squatting
stationary?
one more time.
All right. So you're squatting one more time. Everyone roll stealth check with the +10 bonus from the Veils.
Oh, you bastard. Give it to me. Okay.
This is gonna be the thing where if we roll well.
37.
What?
Oh, 37. Nice. 28.
28.
15.
15.
22.
20.
22.
22.
20.
20.
31.
31 and
27.
27.
This will be clear.
Yeah, you guys rode that closely. You
We
hear
rode
it.
that closely.
What?
Well, it's
Higher
contested every time. Like
Oh,
I roll
God.
against you guys based on its perception of what you roll. So last time it was very, very low. This time
Yeah.
it was pretty high. It begins to snarl and angrily give out these sort of like short bursts sounds that echo over the air above you. But as it flies around, it seems it's out of frustration because it cannot pinpoint where you are. And you watch as the loop begins to go wider and wider, and it begins to double back after about 5 or so minutes to the point where you feel comfortable enough to begin pushing forward. That is 5 minutes without travel, and it's 5 minutes more of the veil's effect being
How long
reduced.
does it last?
An
An hour.
Okay.
But you guys have been going here for about 10 minutes before this, so you're at 15 minutes. You're about a quarter of its use complete.
Okay.
That's
all right.
pretty good.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that out loud.
But once you're feeling comfortable, you can continue moving once
Yeah.
more. All right. You all continue with you following the path. You do manage to thread the needle between two of these towers. There is just enough space, about a 50-foot gap between two of these boundaries that allows you to slip past without triggering the effect. And you do see, as you get closer, and what kind of your keen eyes watch, is some of the flying insects that kind of just hit the air. Occasionally you see these little sparkles as smaller creatures and insects begin to trigger the magical effect, and that's where you immediately gauge the boundaries and ensure to avoid them. Pushing forward, you hear the wings get quieter.
Oh.
And quieter. Quieter.
If it's quieter and farther away, I think we should move
Go all
faster.
out, yeah.
Go all out if
Yeah.
it's farther away, and then as soon as we start hearing them again.
At least for right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is non-stealth. This is a full run.
Yeah.
Okay. You all just go into as heavy a sprint as you can, being a cohesive unit forward. Who's leading this leg of the journey?
There's an archway on the back of that thing. So like you can like communicate with these plants. They're like, somebody's running through us.
That's true.
Who's leading?
Not me. I
I'll
don't. You
lead.
don't. My
I'll
stats
lead.
will.
All right,
I'm
Imogen.
gonna stay in the
Survival or
back and
nature,
pick
your
up
call.
anybody.
It is your destiny.
Oh, jeez.
That
Wow.
that shouldn't count, but it
landed.
has to.
Yep.
11.
Did you guide me?
No.
I also like, what? Did you turn to me and say, I'm about to lead us, help me? I mean, like, how would I know that you're gonna...
Guidance, is it too late?
It's a little late, unfortunately.
I'm gonna
Do I
climb
just,
this
am I
tree.
supposed to guess that
Yes.
you're guiding
If you
us?
see me stepping forward, just fucking
True.
guide me.
Just never stop.
God,
Running.
Never
there-
assume,
There's
Laura.
a comfort and confidence that
Never
comes with the relative
assume.
silence of the creature that had been previously stalking you through the middle of this thicket. A welcome sight comes to your vision as you come over this one kind of densely packed hill of low trees and like thick fern bushes. And as you glance over, you see what looks to be a ruin of some kind, some like deep cerulean and gray stone ruin. It looks like it was at one point some sort of a beautiful ritual site that's just fallen partially into the muddy surface of the ground, and the forest has retaken a lot of it. You just take a moment to think, Gesundheit. This is a good sign. This means that you're probably nearing other elements of intentional Fey creation, and so you kind of begin to trudge through this ruin. Just as your first leg sinks into the ground and your second leg sinks into
iron,
about up to your knee.
the iron tide.
Oh, we gotta give it something metal.
I give it.
I'll sacrifice myself.
No, I have caltrops. I'm gonna throw in some caltrops.
You throw in some caltrops. They all just kind of sit into the mud.
Oh, you got fake caltrops. They're not real metal. You got plastic ones.
You take 6 points of piercing damage as you feel the ground itself beginning to like bite into you and crush into your
Ball
legs.
bearings. I throw like spike ball bearings into it.
You throw some ball bearings into it.
I'll drop a dagger.
Fuck yeah, no, that's what I was gonna do.
I'll drop a dagger in.
I have a silver fork.
So you drop a dagger and dagger into the mud.
I don't think this
I'm
is
gonna
a
throw in a
problem.
fork.
She threw in a fork.
Take
It's
another
silver.
6 points of piercing
We gotta
damage.
reach out to her. I don't think it's the same shit.
And the ground releases you with a heavy sucking sound. leaving your bloody legs behind as you pull yourself out of the
I'm gonna
floor.
try to grab my fork back.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Leave the fork. Leave.
Oh, hang on, it was
good
really special
fork.
one. What investigation?
It's part of a set.
It's one of those camp 10.
10. It's gone.
She got it.
Shit!
She got it at an estate
I'm
sale.
sorry, Vern, I'm sorry. No, it was totally worth it. It was totally worth it.
No.
No.
Make an intelligence check, Imogen.
Me?
Yes.
I'm really dumb. 2.
2. Okay.
I only have a +0 to my intelligence.
All right. Well, you continue onward.
I like
Who else wants to guide us?
I could try.
Lead the way.
Well, I'm trying to remember.
Julie, welcome back. Go for it.
Okay, yeah.
This is your land.
You got a good
Yeah,
nature
Maury said
survival?
thickest. We're heading toward where the
we're
brambles are
sticking in
thickest.
brambles, but this is ruins.
Go, Fernie.
Well,
Come on, Nails.
okay, let me do this.
I'll guide you.
You'll guide me?
Yeah, I always
So
do.
kind of you.
Plus a
Okay.
D4.
Man, we're just sucking it up.
Yeah, this is just shit.
Oh, at least it wasn't an actual one.
14.
That's better than 11.
14. You begin to push in a direction that, based on where you were going, based on what semblances of color and light you can take on the darkened, shadow of the sun sky above you, you continue to lead
Two
the
different
group forward.
directions as you said that.
I know, I was just hoping that it would click in my head. If it did.
You travel for about another 5-6 minutes or so before you come back to a familiar-looking ruin.
This is where we just were.
No, I think it's a different room.
Wait, watch out for the stuff on the ground.
Oh shit, drop!
Cover, duck and cover.
Everyone roll stealth check.
Jeez,
We got things. We still got the things. We got minutes left, right?
Yep.
We do.
Are we still on anything? Okay. Do we have a +10?
Yes.
Oh shit, did I get hot?
All right, we'll go over here.
God.
17, 27, 28.
Okay.
33.
33.
24.
24.
28.
28.
24.
All right.
14.
14.
31.
That's
31.
36.
36. See, that's what we're talking about here.
I'm noisy.
Okay. As you all kind of hunker down, throw the veils over you. And it's interesting, you're all looking up. I'd say this is the first time you're kind of looking at your friends as they throw the veil over. When you're underneath the veil, it just looks like a thin netting almost, like a textured bit of loosely threaded material where a lot of light travels through. And then looking at your friends as the veil goes over, immediately you watch it kind of like crystallize and turn into what looks like an extremely mossy stone, like a heavy rock that just
On the outside.
yeah. And you all just kind of sit there and watch as it doesn't come right over the ruin where you are. It just kind of coasts around. Carves through a part of the forest a little ways off where you are. Smoke pours up. You hear the crashing of trees and branches. Birds scatter.
Does it leave the trees aflame after it hits, or is it mostly just like? Psh?
I mean, the trees themselves burn for a bit.
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
16.
16. Well, you're not quite able to see it from here. I'll say previously when you recall, kind of, you saw it at a glance and didn't think about it until now, but where the parts of the forest where you first were struck by this dark flame beam happened, the trees themselves burned, but you watched as the vines on them actually grew over to try and put out their own flames.
Whoa.
The forest was reacting and healing itself from the fire best it could.
It was avoiding. Did it look like it avoided the ruins that were?
No, it just looked like it's still in a search mode, and it hadn't zeroed in on where you currently were. But you know that at least it's back in the swing of things. At least it seems to be following loosely the same trajectory you are. But you wait for a bit. How long do you want to wait?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. I'll put you at 30. That's about halfway through the veil's effectiveness.
This thing knows about the exit that we're aiming for, too.
I don't know.
You can tell.
How much? How good are you?
Should I? I can. Okay. Okay. Forget it. I'm using my sorcery points. I'm gonna gain back a 3rd level spell, and I'm gonna send a message to Nana.
Okay.
And I'm gonna send her a message and say, "This is Dire. We're at the ruins by the Unseelie Court. Help us find the way to the exit. Which way? I can't message you again."
Okay.
I love you.
She heard it.
There's no response.
Okay. If we're sitting here for several minutes, I'm gonna just start healing us, I guess.
There's no response.
This one, there was no response. That person.
She didn't respond, right?
Talking about Estrals. Is that what you're talking
No,
about? Oh my god,
no,
hang
no,
on.
no, no.
I pull out the treasure scribble.
Nothing.
Fuck. Okay, I guess that's good.
Right though.
What did he say?
The last time he didn't respond to a message.
Don't you
No one
dare.
replied. The recipient.
Don't.
Maybe she's busy
Even.
killing, doing the killing.
Maybe
busy
she is.
killing.
Maybe she is
adding to
the
her
archfey that's chasing after
Maybe
us.
she was never there.
Maybe she just is already getting down to business. She's like, no time to talk. I'm gonna get to it.
Maybe she's got a
That's what she's
visitor and
doing.
she.
We gotta
she's
go.
invisible.
Is there are there tall trees?
Oh yeah.
All
There are
around?
all manner of different sizes.
I'm gonna climb. I'm gonna try to not expose myself so I can get a good look around us.
Make an acrobatics check for me. Fairly simple. We'll consider this, kind of fold this into the previous stealth roll as well.
Oh, fuck you, die.
Too late.
12.
Fuck you, guy.
Well, it takes you a bit to get up there. I mean, thankfully these trees are fairly tangled, so it is kind of like climbing an oversized net. So there's a lot of places to find hand footholds, so you don't fall. But it takes you a moment to get up to a vantage point.
Okay. And I'm trying to stay hidden in foliage and look out over the landscape, Hobbit style, and see if I can locate brambles getting denser or if there's any discerning feature different from what we've come across.
Make a perception check.
That I can do.
God.
Way up high. Does it
Yeah,
reach
that's
me?
a different. Yeah.
That's good. 24.
24. That's great. That's great. Okay. Glancing around the space here, you can see a number of other like structures that have been taken by the forest or built within the trees. You see small like tree houses and like sections of unskilled villages that are kind of built throughout the landscape that you've managed to not run into. Far off from the paths that you've come in and are now currently heading, you can see the spires that surround that kind of haphazard ring that kind of wraps around the far distant exterior of the Shiver Keep. You do also see where the trees begin to grow thinner, and instead these massive, moving, unnatural-looking, thick bramble vines kind of begin to wrap around each other and rise up through trees, overtaking trees, pushing them over, and you can now see what looks to be a heavy, heavy, dense thicket that is about a mile and a half, 2 miles from where you are.
Is it like a clot of that amongst the forest, or does it just give way entirely to brambles?
I mean, it's a clot of it, but the clot itself is, you know, a few miles across.
Okay.
So it's a larger area. It isn't a single point, but
Right.
it is loosely in the direction you've been traveling. If you would have kept going the direction you're going, you would have been a little bit off. So you can kind of right yourself at this point.
Right, so
You do also see carving another path through a part of forest before it seems like it's circling back around closer to where you're currently.
he's on his way. All right, so I summon Gracie, Grimy, Gloomy Glutz is coming back, but we have to go that way.
Okay.
Everybody point with me so I'm not the only one who has to remember. Okay.
Let's go.
All right, let's move.
Should we move or should we drop? Is he coming? Where?
Well, how
is-
close was it when I was up top?
Was maybe about 1,000 or so feet at the time.
Okay, let's move while we can.
Let's for like 2 minutes and then hunker.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all go into a heavy sprint.
No.
Heavy sprint.
We skip.
Okay. Heavy sprint, closing much further distance, kind of rushing in that direction. This is a very challenging terrain. So even the distance you try and cover at a heavy sprint it's difficult terrain. So it's not a full dash, but you're still making headway. You're making ground. You continue to push forward until you hear the...
Yeah.
You all get down. Roll a stealth check.
Still in the pocket, right?
Yep, we're at 35 minutes now.
You rolled real high.
Prevails.
Yes.
Roll good, y'all.
That'll do.
29.
29.
27.
27.
14 again.
14 again.
28.
28.
15.
Oh.
15.
29.
29.
25.
25. Okay. You hear the wings get louder, and you can see the wind as it passes overhead cause all the nearby branches and leaves to shake. It was in a low flying scan and just passes over, and then you watch as it rapidly kind of begins to curve around, like it picked up something. Right about that time, you hear this other noise. As a massive, dark, hawk-like creature and slams into the side of this. You watch as Glomgled just gets hit in the side. You don't even watch the impact. You just watch these two things crash and then vanish over the tops of the trees before you hear the breaking of probably a dozen trees at the impact.
Go!
All right.
Fairy kaiju.
Let them fight.
I know, I want to see that shit.
You all go into a run, following the direction that you were posting in now, and you're guiding the best you can. And it is treacherous land, but you continue going. A handful of signal wards are still there, but at this point, you can just blow past them if you want to, or you want to brave it past other creatures that might be amongst the forest.
I think we book it.
No.
Okay.
Were there other creatures that were on patrol out here?
Yeah, but they might not have gotten as far as us.
There was.
Don't look a gift horse in the
Just
mouth,
run,
man.
just run.
It's right
We're just going. Go.
You all go into a sprint and just run. You get the dryness is in your mouth. You just continue focusing in the direction, following behind where Orm is pointing you. As you go, you can hear in the sky. Other trees crashing to the left of you. You watch as Glomglett kind of picks up in the air above and then just beams carving in different directions. And then suddenly from below, gets slammed by that same creature again. Both of them then spiral down, crashing into the forest about 600 or 700 feet from where you are. You continue to run,
This just became awesome.
and as you do, the thicket gets denser and denser. Indeed, you get to a point where you're having to crawl through once more, and like, in some points, cut your way past certain paths that are a little too tight for some of your larger team members to get through, and you can still hear the scuffle and fight behind you.
Can I? Well, is this done?
What the fuck you got? 'Cause I ain't got shit.
I'm gonna just lightning bolt straight ahead of us. I'm gonna try to create a tunnel of thicket that's burned so that we can get through it.
Go ahead and roll damage on that. If you can breach 30 damage on this, it'll clear a clean path. Any less than that, you might have to cut a little bit of your way through, but it will help either way.
I'm ready to cut when it comes down to it. Yeah.
No, 96.
What?
Whoa!
How so?
8.
But how for so?
Or
Is it always 9?
Yeah.
$5
Always
rolls
had
off the
been.
notebook.
Okay. 20.
Wow.
Yeah, I beat it.
We're over 30.
We're over 30.
30 and
We're all over 30, everybody.
Too real.
32 points
So
of
Captain
damage.
is 4th level?
Yeah,
Hell yeah. Okay.
32, just made it.
Just made
Yeah.
it.
that's what I got left. So it's worth
Describe how this looks.
I just, I step forward and my hair flashes back and my eyes flash white as like a giant purple lightning bolt. Yeah.
This column of deep purple energy just carves through, and you watch as this heavy, like continuous series of walls of overgrown, unnatural Fey thicket begins to wither away and curl and blacken. As it does, you watch. It's not just burning through the vines and roots before you, but the first few burn, and the others immediately reactively pull away, like a living creature that's like withdrawing its limbs. It seems to react from the impact and pain of this, and a path begins to slowly open ahead of you, as it does not want to further impede and present itself with further damage.
That was cool.
Scared the woods.
That was really loud and really cool. We really need to run.
I'll give the trees some pats. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sorry, green friends.
Keep up the
You kind of push through and climb through, continue to follow this path, occasionally seeing up in the sky. You do see this massive kind of black bird that kind of like flies up. You catch just a quick glance, large, kind of black and crow-like wings with these long talons at the end, the limbs, like the talons so long and extended that they almost fold up to an unnatural length of folding within it. And at the top, you see the long neck and the head of Mori at the end. As it flies over, kind of scanning before darkened beam strikes it on the side. And you see the flames kind of erupt on the side as she kind of tumbles into the nearby forest. And you see Glomglut go into a pursuing strike over the edge.
Yeah. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Okay.
She's killed bigger things than this. I've seen it.
Okay. We don't need to go help?
No, we've got to
I
go.
think she's gonna be okay. I think she's gonna be okay.
We should help her.
Unless somebody's got something, we have no way to help. We gotta keep going.
Keep going.
You continue to push through, and you hear the shrieks of Glomglut more, and you're starting to recognize timber in it. You're beginning to recognize things that are actively energetic, excited, honed in, like the sound a cat makes when it sees something move, versus the sound of something that is frustrated and lost. The sound you're hearing is a little more of the latter. You see it now scanning above. No sign of Mori necessarily at this point, but Glomglut apparently is now back in searching mode, though definitely not directly or terribly near the current position of your troop. You begin to carve further into this thicket, passing by small pools of clear water, like a recent rain has been gathered in small alcoves and what would be muddy areas, but the landscape here is mostly moss-covered and soft. There's no mud anymore. It's just like a sponge, kind of mossy material, and the pools themselves are just like this beautiful, clean water. You can see elements of like bone gray fungus that occasionally protrude from areas, like little toadstool rings that sit around some of these puddles. And then eventually you come upon something that is very, very unique to this space. An oddly nightmarish vision of dark bark, like a twisting tree that was split down the middle and then spreads out to two different trunks that embed themselves in the ground to create this 12-foot tall arch. There you can see dense vines and leaves and all numbers of purple and black flowers and roses just wrap around it on each side. You can see there's, amongst this arch, a 12-foot door of like rolling fog that just continuously spills off and stumbles and fills the ground around it. You can see above that in the actual treetop that sits there. There is a massive ropes and tattered materials, almost looks like a constructed nest that sits right above where this is. It's about 25 feet from where you just emerged.
And we didn't pass this on the way in?
No, you came from another direction.
Oh, okay.
Using a hunter bane. Sorry. Can I smell, and do I pick up any like creatures that I haven't been smelling as we've been running through the largely?
Yeah, make a perception check with advantage.
Okay. That's absolute dog shit. 10.
10. Everything here smells Fey. It's a little hard to distinguish, and it's a little odd, a little weird. But you, with your high passive perception, immediately see something kind of crawl out from that nest of ropes above.
Eyes up.
You see, as you hear Orem say this and glance up, what looks to be a monstrous cyclops-like creature with a singular cloudy eye that sits above a noseless mouth of jagged teeth with missing gaps between them. The neck is non-existent, practically. Its head kind of sitting within a bulbous torso that wears patchwork clothing of what looks like a ruined mockery of prestige. A tall harlequin collar that seems to frame the back of its shoulders. It doesn't have feet. Instead, it has 4 long, muscular arms that emerge from the torso. And it almost scurries like a spider before it kind of climbs down the side of the tree before this like fog gate, and then the 2 bottom arms stand straight like legs, and the 2 other ones fold behind it, and it seems to put on this air of regality before it glances down at the rest of you.
This is gross.
I
Ew.
like ask us for a toll or something.
Yeah.
Like a toll bridge.
So it seems we've got visitors today. Tell me, who comes and visits me, Terosh the Lidless Slumber?
Terosh
The littlest slumber.
Ew.
Terosh.
There's that one giant milky eye in the center of the face. It looks at you unblinkingly.
A very slimy eye.
Hello, Tarash. Right? Is that what you
That
said?
is my name. I'm glad you heard, my dear. I wish to know your friends and why you've all been coming here.
We have to go through, I believe, this gate that's right by you.
Is there a fee or a toll to pay?
Of course there is. For all you say, my friends, you've made your way. But each of you have curious look. What will you bring this day?
I hear fucking talking rhyme. Are you kidding me right now?
Oh, we were rhyming so much last episode. Where are our arrow men?
To just use words that can't be rhymed, like orange or
Door hinge.
turkey.
Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh, door hinge.
Turkey.
That's
Orange,
really
kinda,
good.
kinda.
Close enough.
Murky.
Murky. I
Murky
guess.
rhymes with turkey.
I was thinking glurky.
But what kind of stuff do you like? Or what do you want? What's considered a toll?
It's kind of like you see this look of like disappointment already.
Wait,
You want to rhyme? You can rhyme. You can rhyme.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you can see like through the disappointment, the mouth is growing slightly more salivating.
I don't have much of value in my my journey. I have not been nimble, but I have something of value to me, so I can offer you this thimble.
Okay.
Nice.
And I pick out the porcelain thimble that I stole from you.
wait a minute.
Putting a hand forward like this, and the bottom arm leg is like skitter over.
I do
bends
not
forward and
move.
takes it, looks at it.
Wait, hang on a minute. That
All dare say here, my little friend, I like the gift you bring. I say to you, my little friend, go forth and may you sing.
Puts the thimble within its breast, kind of like weird jacket that it has, kind of tattered off to the side, and steps along the way. And the minute any of you begin to step forward, immediately the physicality is like guarded against the rest of you, just leaving a path for you to walk.
Wait. You haven't gone through yet, have you?
No.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, timey is a weird soup.
We have to say
What is that?
No, sorry.
We have
This
to
is me.
rub
The stuff.
stuff on our face.
The stuff because Fey Realm
we have to
time.
rub stuff on us?
Yes,
She
Nana
gave us
gave
stuff
us
to
a
rub
paste
on?
to rub on our foreheads and our cheeks so that we don't come out 1,000 years
Okay,
later.
Let's we do that. Let's all rub that on our fucking. I don't remember that.
I'm gonna first take off the mud that's all over us.
we really need to hold the spa.
Prestidigitation. Prestidigitation.
Or is it
Okay.
bored?
I'm not sure.
Now you're singing. What's happening?
I'm trying to pay attention.
I need to get through the gate.
Right about this time, reaches over and kind of touches your shoulder, and pushes you through the door.
Before we get any older,
No, we got it.
here I offer you this gift: a taste of Taldori pot holder.
Make a persuasion check.
That's an instant win. Come on,
Living
bro.
with a musician for half a fucking for 5 years, people.
13.
13.
This show gets more and more weird.
To offend you here, I do not mean to look upon this trifle.
And he kind of glances over at his fingers.
Maybe, I think, it could be taken. Instead, that monkey's rifle.
You wouldn't dare.
Fern?
We gotta get
I have something better. I have something better. You do not want that.
Gotta talk in Ron.
I'm not good at it. I have for you.
You start noticing, with each failed rhyme, his body is growing slightly larger. The shadows around the gate grow slightly darker and longer. And this breathing gets louder.
Our day was long and too much filled with toil. It isn't much, but have this dram of burning oil. And I have a little flask of burning oil. And hand it off.
Takes it, soaks the pot holder in it, and just eats it.
Oh.
See, you like
Oh.
Grabs your head like a basketball and flings you into the gate. The rest of you begin to hear.
It's a pleasure to come upon you on this fine day. We come from a realm far away. My name is Laudna, so don't call me Doris. But here I have this journal from a one Vespin Chloris.
so good. It's really good.
The pale moonlight-like color of the realm begins to peek once through past the surrounding brambles, and you see the grin that already sat, filled with gnarled teeth, begin to grow even wider as the book is accepted and thumbed through.
The history of other realms have always kept me happy. I'll tell you, miss, I like your look. The rest of you are crappy.
Takes you and throws you into the gate.
I like that too.
Jenny! Jenny!
Talking about Matt.
Yeah. Drop a beat. No. Yo, I'm F.C.G.
No.
Here to say I
Oh.
love patrons in a major way. I'm not too good at rhyming. I don't do raps, but I made you a box of ginger snaps.
Oh my god.
He's even got the lasso box.
That's incredible.
How long have they been sitting there?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna eat him just in case.
Hold on.
I'll wait till the break. Accepts them, kind of like gives you a curious look over in general before sniffing them and then eating the box whole with them in there.
I'll have to say, my little friend, I rather like the flavor. I wish there's more, but that's all right. The memory I'll savor.
Grabs you and then chucks you back into the gate.
Guys.
Now, you
How many
hear
left?
as Glomglut is now circling around the top of the thicket. It's mostly tangled over, but you can see the shadow moving, and you feel you haven't too much time before it begins to find you and tear through.
Over Imogen's bunk-ass gift, we feel great remorse, but I hope you'll accept this sweet-ass rocking horse. And it's a little rocking horse that has a little figurine that has a big eye carved in the little guy that's on the back of it.
Yeah, that looks like him. Yeah.
I like this horse you offer me. Better handled with a tweezer. I think it's time you went ahead, you little stupid geezer.
Grabs you and chucks you into the gate. And then kind of admires the horse a little bit and kind of looks it over. For a second. Doesn't he? Just bites on it. Puts it
Can
in
we
his
see
pocket.
more or anything, or can I look back and just see anything?
You don't see anything. It's too dense around here. You can make a perception check if you'd like, in case.
Oh god. Okay, I'm gonna take the cloth that Maury gave us.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Through this land we've ridden, of that I have not lied. I give you this gift to keep you hidden. Go on now, make yourself hide.
I walked it. Have we found Bailey's Achilles heel?
Imogen. Imogen, make another persuasion check.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
It's on the line. It's on the line.
Oh, okay. 20.
Appreciate your second chance. Maybe this will hide. But here upon this second chance, I better let it slide. And goes ahead and just grabs you, brings you close, and kind of looks you over for a second.
I knew what he was going to say. Maybe not the exact wording, but I knew it would be a hide and slide.
Oh, it's me.
Just you.
Okay.
Did you make a perception check, you said, glancing around?
It was shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hold on. This is 13.
13, yeah. You can see the shadow of something flying overhead, and you can hear the sound of it growing closer and beginning to zero in. Plus, you're all having loud conversations in this space, too. It's about this time that you see the beam begin to carve a section of the overall bramble kind of dome that's grown over it as it kind of begins to fall. And at this point, you see that Terosh is like,
this is a, what am I giving you? Here I have a, what is this?
Why are you checking your phone?
No, because it was buzzing. It was bothering me. I couldn't think straight.
She's like, what's going on?
Because I was like, everything's fine.
Help.
Okay, here.
It's just your life.
Here I have a simple golden skeleton key, but I must tell you, it's not as good of a present as me. But
Are you giving him your body?
No.
Thank you. You kind of looking down upon you, this like oddly shaped entity. Its long, spindly arm legs beneath it. Its arms kind of out to the side as it grabs the key, glances it. You hear like the impact sound of Gloamglut up in the trees, like starting to grab onto the side.
I think you're right. I'll see this key. Its gold is really shown. But don't forget, whenever you want, you're always welcome home.
Grabs you, and then kind of turns around and throws you into the gate. The last thing you hear is, "You weren't invited!" before you go through the gate. At that point, you all kind of gather up, clattering on the opposite side.
Shut up. In my brain, I had switched them. Shut up. It still rhymed, all right? Fuck all
You got to the
y'all.
edge of the cliff, and you were like, I have a parachute, right?
Now, as the rest of you have stepped through this gate, one after another, through this odd and intense circumstance, a welcome serenity meets you on the opposite side, as you're now in another kind of jungle forest, unfamiliar to you, but less ominous, less immediately dangerous. And there's something about the air that already feels Exandrian and welcoming.
I checked the scramble.
Clear?
Just because we're on the other side of the portal. Hunter's Bane, Fey Fiend, Undead, any smells, anything?
Go ahead and roll.
Natural one. We're fine.
Okay, you're fine. You're doing great.
And it's a jungle specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Not woods. Wait, when we
We don't
went
know
in,
where, we don't know at all where we are.
You have no idea.
Does this there's nothing about this that's familiar?
Sky blue?
Sky's
we
blue.
might have rin.
Sky's blue.
From the city? From the...
Yeah, but this could have
be anywhere.
this could put us out on Taldore for all we know.
The
This
last
is just
place
a
will be is where we started.
Does this jungle happen to look any bit familiar to
Oh yeah,
Orem
because
and
you've
I?
come through, maybe? No.
No.
You did travel the jungle.
Not necessarily. Actually,
Does this jungle have Wi-Fi?
if I can have Imogen and Laudna make perception checks for me, please.
Yeah, I've been fucking up. That's all I've been doing.
1 week.
Oh. 19?
Also 19.
Rolling.
Which is.
Okay. The trees that are around here,
Let's let it go.
there's one of them you see. It looks to be a lot of them are bluff oaks, which are they had some of those nearby at home, not like directly, in Jilvan, but like they're definitely indigenous to the areas around the Talon Highlands, as well as areas around the western side near the ocean of the Hellcatch Valley and like the southern sides of the Odiran Wilds. You also kind of can pick up some familiar foliage, so at least it's not completely alien from what you're familiar with. You could try and climb somewhere to get a better view, or travel in a specific direction until you can have better vantage points. Right now, you're just surrounded by foliage.
Or sit down and take a short rest.
I'll do a quick spider climb. Climb a tree.
I'm going to
Can
lie
you climb
here.
a tree with a single-digit health?
Yes.
Cool. Just
Oh,
checking.
no.
Oh, never mind. I'm going to get up and wait to catch Logna.
I could just stab you before you climb up there. If you want.
You would do that. Remember when Knot shot Bo in the ass trying to climb a tree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just precious.
Classic Knot.
Class.
Now, the other side, by the way, as you kind of take a moment to kind of gauge where you are, you look back from where you came from, and there is a river that is kind of tumbling off the side of a mountain, like a hillside that's clambering down. You're the base of it, and there's a waterfall that is falling from this river, kind of about 10 or so feet into the next river, but it makes no sound. And you look back, and that's directly where you came from. But you're all dry as well. But nevertheless, spider climb. You clamber up. Gonna get to the highest point you can. What was your perception check?
From earlier?
Yeah.
19.
19, okay. From here, indeed, you can see the beautiful landscape of the Highland Bluffs around you. This is the northeastern region of the Talon Highlands. From this point, you are further west beyond Ashanador and its gloom jungles. You're beyond the borders of the Talon Highlands, where the mountains divide the two regions, and where much of the conflict of the previous Apex War happened. You can already see beyond here to the further west and south of the bluffs the beautiful stretches of massive terrace farmland. You can see this majestic mountain range to the south that is kind of where much of the Highlands is built on, and there are just these leveled plateaus, like steps of gods that are kind of flattened and built up alongside these mountain ranges that are covered in beautiful green expanses, farmlands and all manner of well-cultivated growing fields for the people of the Highlands. You can see maybe about 35 or 40 miles to the west of here what you think might be Jilvan, the town where you originally came from. You can also see the Cloven Peaks, which are the highest points in the southern mountain range here in the Talon Highlands. There, you can see they're already sparkling with fresh white snow, or white snow they've kept year-round. You see them rising into the gray clouds where they vanish. And the peaks of these mountains, through most of the year, are not seen from much the rest of the Highlands themselves. And there, you do know, sits the capital city, the apex city of Surwargus. That's where the Stratos throne is stationed. So you've not been here where you are now, and you're still out in the middle of nowhere. You're equidistant from the border to Ashanador and any other semblance of civilization, and it's a long journey to get there.
All right. I climb back down. What were the cliff? What peaks?
You are in the Highland Bluffs.
Where's our map?
You don't have a map of this.
Oh.
Yeah, it's at the bottom left of the Bosphorus map.
Yeah, you can see that the direction of it where it goes off the map to your point, the southwest of the Hellcatch Valley.
Let's get back down. Imogen. We're actually not too far from Jilvan.
Really?
To what?
The town I'm from, actually.
When we first met.
Yeah.
Like how far? A couple of days?
Yes, 35, 40 miles.
Are we about to find out?
That's straight. Through this dense jungle and the topography, which rises and falls in many places before you get to like the actual cleared bluffs, you're looking at about a 2-day journey on foot.
And we're basically not far from the Highland Peaks. Just a little bit east.
Yeah. What time of day does it feel like?
It is later afternoon, pushing probably into a sunset within the next hour.
Okay. We don't know what day, what month, what year.
No, we don't even know.
And also, I suppose someone should just ask this now. Are we going to run into friends, enemies, or otherwise if we walk into this town with the two of you?
I don't think we need to go.
Oh God.
No.
Oh God.
What are we gonna do there?
Regroup.
Get
Get a
food.
meal.
Would I have any idea
It's
of how much? What did you just do with pate?
You don't ask.
What would I need to, or would I have any idea how much further away Saragos is from?
Srawagas
Japan?
is a lot further away. That's a few hundred miles probably.
I mean, we're still racing a ticking clock.
Yeah,
right?
we don't need to go
What are
2
you
days
doing?
out of the way to get to my hometown.
Yeah, what's-
what? To
Yeah,
talk
what's
to
Sam doing?
a bunch of people that we ran away from.
Well, what's the plan then?
Yeah. Regardless, we're in the middle of the wilderness. We have no ship. And
If we can rest a little bit,
we can phone a friend.
I can maybe call Plane Rider in, but
Is there anything in your hometown? I mean, your mom's messed up in all this, right? Is there anything that she would need there, or you could contact someone else that she might have, emotional ties to?
she left. She left.
What about your other family?
My father?
Yeah. Did she? Were they together? I mean, did they love each other?
I don't know. As far as I know.
Maybe he could tell you something about her that would help.
Wait, is he still alive?
Yeah.
Does he know that she's alive?
If he does, he never let me know.
It's been quite a while since you've been talking to your dad, yeah?
Just a couple years.
Well,
You could
we
visit
could at
your
least-
horse.
Flora deserves it, but I don't.
You could see Sam.
F.C.G, what? Why are you trying to make me go there?
I'm not trying to make
I
you.
don't
I'm
think
just.
there's anything we need there. I think what we need to do is locate the other keys and destroy them. I don't think the key is going to be in Jelvon.
Sometimes the key to a lot of things is with our family. Is all I'm saying.
Plus, if we're going to just start walking, I mean, we could give them an exact location of where we are. And if we're in a city that you know, whether it's plane rider or our airship, I mean, better than the wilderness.
That was mostly my thought. I wasn't trying to drudge up old shit.
No, it's fine.
I am trying to figure
I know.
Oh, we know.
Just not to, agree. We don't have to force anything, but maybe now that, of course, we don't have to do this, but if maybe your dad does know more than he has told you, and there's a possibility that maybe he would open up more now if, I don't know, I'm just throwing that idea out there. I know, I understand. Parent shit is the fucking worst.
And to Imogen's point, it wasn't a peaceful parting of ways when we left.
I can hit him. I love hitting dads. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, you're a bad motherfucker now too. I mean, you should float in with like crackles coming off you and shit, and be like, "Pops, it's time for a reckoning." Open, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Feel
just
it.
drag him over to me and like open up his mind without even his.
Turn him 180
Gosh,
degrees
keep
so his
going.
hair's just, yeah, that would be really cool.
Sounds like a catharsis. Yeah.
I defer to Imogen on this one. I think we need to.
Here's the thing. It is a 2-day journey, and we are, as far as we know, less than 2 weeks out from the solstice. Do we want to waste 2 days traveling to a town? Or do we need to contact Ren now and go somewhere useful?
I think we need to contact somebody right now just to even see what day of the fucking week it is.
I just need an hour and I can contact somebody. I can't.
I think we should
Oh,
stay
we
here for
we
the
need
night.
the hour regardless.
Yeah, yes. I agree with Orem.
All right, well,
Okay.
how about this as well? Why don't we, just maybe relocate a little bit
Away from the
away from
gate?
the gate.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
good idea.
And then
Just in case Falcor come through.
Yes.
I get the feeling that that gate guard is hard to get through.
Yeah.
And
he also seemed a little dubious himself.
he seemed fine to me. I really like that place, by the way. Your home's great. It's
great.
I
Yeah,
love
no,
your,
it
I love
was
your
really
nan, by the way.
It's a pretty magical place.
Nana saved our lives.
Nana saved us.
I know.
Maybe
You know
we need to
what?
make sure she's
when
all
she
right.
didn't, we do. When you feel better, but I knew the second you were like she didn't respond, I was like she's coming. She's gonna be coming any minute. I just knew it.
The drama was appreciated.
Yes, and I think she's fine. I've seen her take down things much bigger than that.
Hunter's Bane one more time, just because we've been out of the gate for a minute.
All right, go ahead and roll perception with an advantage.
Oh, 21.
21. Feels fairly clear at the minute. Nothing catches your eyes, your sense, your ears as being unnatural, and you just hear the number of natural creatures and beasts that call this pocket home. You hear the calls, the distant growls. Nothing that threatens. Just comfortably away from civilization.
Which direction would we go?
Well,
if we were being tracked, where would they assume we'd be heading towards?
Who?
Oh, anybody who
Chasing
came
us
through
from
the
the
gate.
other side? If they even came out at the same time.
That's true.
We're still all covered in oil of Fey. Do we want to follow this stream for a bit and what? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And wash up and bed down. Figure out what we're gonna do. Contact Ren.
Bed down, all oiled up. Oh my.
Just starting to flake on me.
Just absorbing this shit like
Yes,
nobody's
right,
business.
we
Let's
should.
just
Yeah, you look very lustrous.
thank you. I
Yeah.
feel shiny, and it's
No,
very hard to
but
grip.
it's a good look on you, yeah.
I'm having a very hard time like gripping the hammer. It just
Oh.
keeps wanting to like if I take a swing, I think it's just gonna go off into the woods.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, fist
That was like a
yeah.
film squib.
Let's do that. Though we're a mess, right? We're like
Yeah.
half muddy and oiled up on the face or whatever it is. So why
Lana's
don't
on
we?
death's door again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why don't we find
Lie down somewhere.
somewhere reasonably out of the way, within
Defendable.
at least walking distance to this stream, right? You said
What
waterfall
the-
illusion and then a real actual river or stream
Yeah.
by.
Let's head downstream a little bit then until we can't see the waterfall. Stop. I just. Jesus. Let's let's go downstream for like half an hour and then sit down.
Please.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Yes, your butt does go everywhere. We know.
Okay.
So wholesome.
Continuing onward, but a half an hour or so, eventually the sky, through the broken clouds, the blue begins to go to the sunset colors, the welcoming oranges and pinks. And you find a place where you think you might be comfortable enough to take a short rest if you'd like.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, please.
In this time, I would like to,
Got to make it rhyme.
Oh man, we've already taken a
in
short
this
rest.
time, I would like to find familiar to get back what's mine.
Okay, you got it.
I'm taking my short rest on the water.
I may actually. Well, I'm gonna bathe. Too. This is
Yeah,
bullshit.
I'm gonna get
Is what I'm saying.
do a little bathe as well.
Sweet.
Not me. Let it accumulate. That's how you get the ladies.
Building up that muscle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
You can argue.
So you go ahead and recall Pate from the ether. Which is wild, because to do this particular ritual, you have to find and easy enough to find a corpse that is already somewhat decayed in the space, and you just kind of find a nearby half-eaten critter.
Oh yes. Okay. So yeah, I found like a the bloated remains of a ground squirrel, and kind of peel off some of its flesh, to kind of expose its rib cage a little bit. I want a squirrel head, so I ripped the squirrel head off, throw it away, and use that.
As you cast the spell, it's very similar to those extremely fast time-lapse photography of watching, animal corpses decay. As it bloats and pulls open, you watch as Pate's form begins to emerge, magically summoned from within the body before. It's like, hello again. Sorry, that was really intense.
You did such a good job. What was it like getting eaten by that thing?
I'm not gonna lie, it's a new one. It's a new feeling. It was, I think it's awakened something in me.
Oh.
Anyway, crawls up onto your shoulder.
Good boy. You did good.
Thank you.
Hang on, let me actually read this spell.
During this short rest, I'm gonna be working on my sourdough starter.
Okay.
Just feeding the starter, doing an auto lease, just getting it nice and ready for next batch of stuff.
Okay.
Letters. I got you something, by the way.
Well, what'd you get?
Well, I had a bit of a rough time, as I'm sure you heard, and I opened up the portable hole. Check this out. And I go in, and there's a couple boxes of just like that. Whatever the version of a crate fruit basket of raw Italian ingredients of like canned tomatoes, dough, lot just spices, just all of this stuff that I stole from the kitchen that I got raided.
Are there also 2 dead Fey warriors in there?
Yep.
Oh.
They're starting to go.
They're naked.
Well.
No, they wouldn't be going yet. It's only been a couple
That's right. It's
hours.
been a couple hours, and there's no insects or anything.
Should we take him out?
So yeah, all this.
Thank you. That's so great. I can make some savory treats as well.
I mean, I'm excited for you to be experimenting with this new hobby. I think it's just going to be a wonderful, wonderful thing for everybody.
I still can't taste anything, but I figure if I keep trying, maybe it'll just sort of come.
I think that we're going to figure out how to fix that, and I think that it's going to be important that you can cook your own first meal.
It would be nice.
I call out
really
from
excited
the river.
about it.
I can't remember. Can you smell?
Nope.
Terrible. That was too easy.
So while y'all taking the short rest, need a couple rolls here. Liam, go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Yes. It's a 3.
A 3.
What?
Alrighty.
You didn't say.
Roll another d20.
Oh boy.
Oh.
This is a 13.
13.
Yeah, is this bullshit?
Then,
psychological war.
And then roll 2 d20s for me.
What?
Listen, if I'm gonna die of old age, I should be rolling the dice.
18 and 13.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh boy.
Let's see.
That was very
Marisha, I'll need you to roll a d20.
Is this some Fey shit? Is this because
God,
of the Fey Realm?
I hope so.
This is definitely.
This has gotta be. Don't fuck me, rudest. I don't trust the
No,
rudest
don't
die.
trust that die.
But we put oil of Fey on him.
Just straight rolls?
Yeah.
3.
3. Both start with a 3. Okay. Roll another d20.
13.
That's exactly what you got. What? All right, and then roll one more d20 for me.
One more, not 2 more.
No, one more.
What was the last one you rolled?
I rolled 2 dice and got an 18 and a 13 on
Actually,
the
no.
final
For this
double
roll 2 d20s. Roll 2 d20s.
What if you roll the exact same roll? That'd be
Who's in height?
15 and a 4.
Okay, almost.
Spell's broken. You have no power
Okay.
over me.
Sorry.
Don't act casual. What?
Yeah, look at him. He's in bro.
It's gotta be some
He's trying to be casual face.
Did
There's
everyone
nothing going
heal
on.
up to full?
As far as you close as you can get to it.
And I
like,
regained some sorcery points.
Okay.
And
kind of
with
do
the
some things.
vial.
Right, with
I'm out
the
of rage.
blood vial.
Got all my fighty stuff back.
Oh, yeah, my spell should be.
I've got a thing I can do still.
Alrighty.
Is it the worm?
This is the worm. As long as it doesn't have anything.
You have your spell back?
Yes.
Everyone else good with their rest?
Yes.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna use the 3rd level that I just got back. And I'm gonna send a message to Plane Rider Rin, right? That's who I should be messaging.
Unless your heart says that you want to message your father.
I can do that later.
Anytime.
Just know that that's an option in your life.
Thank you. Letters.
Wait, did we? What happened? It was bad. It was a bad ending. It was a bad last time you left. You saw
She
him.
hasn't talked about it, which means that maybe she's not ready to.
Yeah, that's true.
About it a
We
little
talked
bit.
about it a
With
little.
us.
I feel like we did.
Rode
and then-
into town, and the town tried to roll me out of it in a very unceremonious
very
way.
violent way.
Yes, as they tend to do, and Imogen saved me. Also in a very violent way. It was very powerful, impressive. It's very capable.
It's the first time I'd ever done anything like that. I didn't even know I could.
But of course, needless to say, a couple of crazy ladies casting magic and maybe murdering a few townsfolk. We quickly had to go on the run. And, been together ever since.
Sometimes people don't like that.
No.
A strong, bitchy, witchy, powerful woman.
Yes.
But it was, I mean, did your dad do anything to help, or?
No. But he'd been distancing himself from me for years.
It must have been hard for you.
Do you think it's because he was afraid that you would follow a similar path as your mother?
I'm sure he had reasons that I was unaware of. At the time, it felt like it bettered his reputation if I wasn't a part of his life as much anymore. I doubt that's everything. He didn't want to talk about her. And as he realized that I could read thoughts a lot of times before you, I didn't have control over whose thoughts I was reading. It came in like a storm. I would get bits of information that I know he didn't want me to have, so he just kept his distance.
Sounds like he should talk to someone too. Well, if he's all closed off.
His reputation, was he known for things?
Oh,
or
no,
like
we
a
just worked
town?
for a very, really one of the most powerful men in the town. He Master Fairmore, he has a lot of businesses around Marquette, and he lives there, and that's where he works out of. So, he kind of takes over the town, honestly.
And you worked for him, like on his
Yeah,
farm
we ran
or
his
something?
stables.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, I can message Ren and let her know.
That we'll meet her in your dad's house?
That we're on a path from, I don't even know.
Yeah, headed towards.
But maybe, you know what? Maybe Ren does know where the portal is. That's quite possible.
This is true.
Because I feel like she mentioned something about it.
Mm-hmm. Also, how are we going to know if what we did there in the Fey Realm has had any effect on their plans, or...
We won't. It could be months after that happened. We don't even know what time it is.
Can we see Rhodus in the sky?
Felt pretty spectacular. Oh, that's a good
perception check.
question.
It's
Hold on
dusk
to your
right now,
butt.
right?
Guidance. Wow.
Bounced off the chair.
Hold on to your butts.
That's 2 cheeks down. I'm out of cheeks, man.
Oh no.
4.
Easy day.
Just like this.
You don't even see a sky.
His eyelids, they go a little wonky sometimes. Give it a minute.
Make a nature check for me.
Who?
Anybody.
Oh,
What's nature?
That's something like nurture.
Okay, so you do not see Ruidus in the sky. But you also understand that, you know, for a large part of the day, it's not
usually not
there. At least half of it, if not less, based on the rotation of Exandria as a sphere.
Like it spins like a vinyl disc?
Yes, but it's
the evil glare.
Fey Realm does.
fucking.
That's the gift.
So, what do we do?
I'll tell you what I want really, really well.
So yeah, I can send Rin a message.
Also, as far as knowing if we did anything back there, haven't you had a little success poking around in the dreamscape? Could you run a scouting mission? Is that
Tonight?
silly? I don't know how it works.
No, we could try that tonight for sure.
Mm.
Certainly.
Just know that if it goes bad,
Maybe this.
before.
If we do it again, I won't. I won't get as close as I did the last.
We might need to find out if it worked. Well, we got out of it before. We'll be okay.
How many
Maybe.
people could you drag into that?
Let me think about that for a
Alright.
second.
In the meantime,
In the meantime,
let's get out of here.
okay. Should I send her a message?
I think so.
Okay, I'll send her a message.
Sure, before we change locations, yeah.
Yeah.
We're back from the Fey Realm. Mission accomplished. We're at the portal near the Talent Highlands. Can you come get us? What day is it?
Finn responds,
How does the calendar work?
Oh, that is good to know. The other Verdi allies are currently vying for the shadow side as we speak.
Oh, great.
What's that mean?
oh, other people going for the shadow.
I'm currently checking out the Tishton excavation site myself.
First time we've got a name for it?
Tishton, you heard in conversation previously about the ancient society that was being that had
Ziggurat built it.
yes built these strange kind of devices to channel the power of. You get a spell from Rin to continue the conversation.
Oh, nice.
There's many Vanguard here. Guardians, Golems. They're adjusting, reinforcing things. Bit of a last-minute scramble. You must have left an impact.
Oh, it's destroyed. Yeah. I don't know how to make our way to you. We don't have means of fast travel. But we'd like to be of help.
Roll d20 for me.
We gotta figure out how to learn that.
How to learn that song?
Just without anything added.
Yep, just tell me what the number is.
6?
A 6. Okay. Rin reaches out with another message connection to you. I understand. Let me finish up at least my scouting mission here. If all goes well on the other side, I should meet some friends of the Verity soon. Help set the stage for... Shit!
Oh,
That's all you hear.
no! Oh, no. I'm sure she's fine, but something went wrong on their end.
How do you know?
Well, she said shit, and then the message cut off.
Or maybe shit.
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 Yeah,
You
maybe.
don't say it like that. If you,
No, you don't.
You step in it.
Nope.
Yeah.
So probably not getting a ride today.
Probably not.
Well,
So run that down again. They're
Okay.
outside of You said the Tishtan excavation?
Yeah, and apparently there's another group that's taking care of they're trying to take care of the key in the Shadow Realm. They're amassing their forces, their group, to go for the one here. But it sounds like
Still up Schitt's Creek without Rin.
they're gathering their defenses there too.
We've got the excavation site. In theory, we have a ship if we call them and see how many days it would take for us to meet up with them if we headed straight towards them.
That's true.
We have just knowing, just even from going to like Drusar to Bassaris, for example, would I have like a vague notion, or any of us have a vague notion of how long that would take to travel via airship from like where they are to here?
It's not quite the same distance. Just like
No. From their, because they're currently moored in Eos.
Right.
So,
No, I'm just saying, knowing the amount of time that it took for us to travel, can I kind of deduce where,
looking at the map.
how long it would take
Where we
to
are.
the Eos to where we are?
Make an intelligence check for me. I'll say with advantage because you've made the journey from the highlands northward to Drusar, so you at least can kind of loosely triangulate your current position and where you've traveled. That might help you at least.
Int check. Both of them are 8s for a 9.
For a 9, okay. It's tough to
Imogen and Lightning dice.
It's tough to make any details. From the journey, what you saw, kind of watching the skyship path to Eos, it's probably no more than a few days to get to where you are now via skyship.
Okay.
And then if it took you about safely from Drusar to Eos, they said it was about 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
But if you cut right through the Hellcatch to get there, we're taking like 7 to 8, with the possibilities of dangers involved. You're going into the Hellcatch, which has its own challenges. But yeah, a few days to get to here, and then a week or more to get there.
And Rin didn't say what day it was.
You have 13 days till the solstice.
So it is. We do have 13 days still. We didn't miss any time. The paste helped.
As far as you can tell right now, and with the promise of Mori, nothing too much has changed. And it takes you a short time to figure out that society hasn't crumbled. Nothing's gone terribly. So yeah, 13 days till the solstice. That look, Travis Willingham.
Those rolls for.
What were those rolls for? Was it?
Hey, or make sure you don't have a third nipple or something all of a sudden.
Always have a third nipple.
Oh!
Get better perception, bro.
Yeah, it was we scratched.
It's this afternoon.
It's
You've
at this
got-
point,
right?
it's past sunset, and you're starting to push into the evening.
Well, I don't want to be Miss Doom and Gloom over here.
Too late.
Yeah. But hopefully Ren is okay. But if they're not, then we can't waste any time. Should we just make the call to
We could always
tell them
call
to
them off
Yes.
if Rin's coming to get us.
Sure.
Just
I've
have
got
them-
one 4th level spell left that I can send a message to. Do you have it prepared today?
No, I do not.
That I could send a message to the captain.
Might as well.
That's the right call.
Just to be sure, not to beat a dead horse. I'm sure Fauna's fine, but you really don't want to visit home, or your dad, or what? These aren't big enough. You sure you don't want to
Oh,
visit
that's
your
what
dad,
that
just in
was.
case he has like, I don't know, a tchotchke that could like sway your mom in a moment of conflict?
Take a point straight.
Good. I think that is just for William.
We can head towards Shelvan. At least it'll give us a point of contact for the ship, all right?
You just.
But if they intercept us on the way, then that's even better.
Yeah, I agree. Time is of the essence.
All right, I'm gonna send a message to Captain Xandus. With the 4th level.
Xandus.
And then we're gonna go to sleep, right? We're gonna go to sleep?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
All right. So we're not in Eos anymore. We need you to head towards Jelvan in the Talon Highlands to pick us up. As fast as possible.
Oh, well, then that is... Wow, you're just going all over the place. Okay, let me sober up about an hour and we'll start going.
Great.
Did he say how long it would take?
Nope.
Great. Yeah, we'll check in tomorrow.
About 10
can't
minutes
imagine
before
it'd be faster than a
commercial break starts. Don't know how much into commercial the ads
About what time?
will be going into
Actually, about
before
this
calling it.
time. The sun has set and evening has come to the dense jungles of the Talon Islands. The place where you took a short rest is as safe as any place you could probably find here amongst the non-being hunted by a Fey dragon arena of your day. If there's anything you'd wish to attend to before the night's done, you can make camp here if you'd like.
We should probably do something with these bodies in the hole.
Oh, shit. You're right.
It'll stink up that.
Yeah, it's just gonna fuck up all the food.
Should we throw him back
In the
through
stream?
gate?
Oh.
Well, I mean,
Oh, the stream.
If that's true, no, maybe we should just throw him through the gate.
No, I don't know if he would appreciate that very
Well,
much.
what is he gonna do?
I don't know. I don't want to tempt it, though.
What if he likes it? We could be giving him a present. It could be he could eat it. Right?
I'm having a hard time denying that logic.
Hey, we'll tie it. Yeah, I'm gonna write a little note and tie it on the ankle of one of those soldiers that says,
There's something we should do. We have to make sure that we go through all of their shit just in
yes,
case
of
they have
course.
something.
Go through their shit.
I'll start
But
that.
I'm gonna write a little note that says, a tasty snack. Oh, shit, I should rhyme this. shouldn't
Yeah,
I?
of course you should.
God damn it.
And we're gonna toss their corpses through a waterfall.
No, just
We could bury them.
Yep.
Thank you back
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Okay,
but-
okay. If
yeah.
you want to go for it, that's fine. I'm not gonna.
Thanks for your help, and out of the blue, a tasty little snack just for you.
That's great.
That's what I'll put on
Great.
there.
Easy to mention.
Yeah.
You tag the ankle of the corpses and you backtrack to the portal where you had come through, and you throw the corpses through the waterfall. Okay.
And we've clearly gone through and taken.
No, you inspected the corpses previously
Yeah, what they
and
have.
discovered that they didn't have much beyond their armored weapons. Like many soldiers that are, maintaining sentry of a keep, most of their belongings they keep in like a footlocker or a
Sometimes
personal
they have
space.
cigarettes or like a little,
That's
little
true.
flask or something.
These
or,
didn't have
you know, a letter from home.
Yeah, as you ragdoll them through the waterfall,
Oh, memories.
like so many wonderful Half-Life 2 playthroughs, they through the water, and that's when it makes a sound. The running water makes nothing, but the impact of the bodies, and they're gone.
Well, let's head back now before something weird happens. Yeah.
Creepy.
Okay. We discovered the place where you decided to set camp. Prepare for an evening's rest. And is there anything else you want to prepare for the night?
I'll take first watch because I'd actually like to go on patrol if that's okay and stretch my legs.
Sure.
Go find a bunny or a deer or something.
Get the taste of blood in your mouth.
This is actually pretty familiar. Before we all met, this is my shit.
Okay.
I'll stay up at camp while you run about in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deep circle. Oh, don't worry, I won't won't bring it home with me or anything.
And you don't actually sleep, right?
I power down for a
Power
while.
down. When everyone's asleep and Chet's off running around, I'm gonna go ding 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 in your head. You awake?
Do you want me to be awake?
Yeah, is that okay?
Yes, I'm awake.
You okay?
Well, I've been a little on edge lately. that's what you mean.
Well, I've always done a thing where, I mean, it feels great to help people and serve other people. That just feels good in and of itself. But I do this thing where sometimes I'm always trying to help other people because it's easier to not focus on my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You follow?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I mean, I have a new clarity. I feel like there's someone out there who's helping me. It seems silly at first, but it seems to be working a little bit. I know that I'm not going to learn anything more about myself from the past, and so I just got to make a new future for myself. And the only thing that I got to go on is I got this coin, and I got possibilities, and that's it. I'm just going to follow that and see where it takes me.
You might learn more about yourself someday if all of this
seems like
blows over.
Everybody who knew anything about me has been dead for 998 years.
There's libraries, there's historians, we've heard stories about other beings like you.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, but like it seems like I was one of a large group of instruments of death, and maybe I was different somehow, but maybe I was just the same. But it doesn't matter. I think the Changebringer's trying to tell me to just keep looking ahead, looking forward, and don't worry about getting bogged down with whatever I was then. Sort of reinvent what I can be now.
Are you hearing him?
The Changebringer?
Yeah.
She's talking to me in this coin.
Okay. Well, I like you having a direction you like.
So far, so good. I mean, I want to give it a go and see if this is the way. Maybe it is.
Okay. Well, I don't want to pry. I just notice you always have, but really making an effort with everyone else, and I know that you've been a little edgy yourself, and
I sure have. I didn't want to tell anybody, but like today I got the urge a couple times to like really kill Chetney. But like really though.
I think that's natural.
No, I mean, started to spin the old blade. I was close.
Well, please don't do that.
I'll try not to.
Okay. Well, good talk.
Sorry.
No.
I feel like
I was just trying to
tell you more, but there's nothing to tell. I feel like I'm a big question mark, and no one's gonna answer the question, so.
Yeah, but letters, here's the thing. That's what we all feel like. And someone's got to help the helpers.
You feel that way even though you know where you've been and what your purpose is?
I mean, I don't know what my place is in the world. I don't know why the things that have happened happen. I don't understand what the gods are doing. I don't understand why someone wants to destroy the gods. It's all a big wash.
But you want to protect your voice of the Tempest. You have that mission.
Yes.
And you want to do right by the name of your husband and his father?
That is my prime directive, yeah.
Is that all? Is that enough for you?
For right now, it is. But
what happens if you succeed?
Well, that's the question mark. I don't know what comes next. But, we're probably getting out of ourselves because everything is maybe going to turn inside out in 13 days.
I think it'll be fine. I like that. I like that optimism. Optimism is the best ism.
Smiley night.
You too.
We're gonna die.
And have a break.
While Chutney is
One
off
less
on a
chipmunk.
hunting spree, Orem keeping his watchful gaze upon the rest of you in this kind of chilly blanket of safety around this dull campfire you've maintained. A night of long-needed rest after an extensively exhausting day comes to you. That's where we'll go ahead and take a break. Back here in a few minutes.
We'll say a lot.
Yep, you get a long rest. You can hit that button.
I'm sure we're just going to do that.
We'll come back here in a little bit and pick up with the morning sunrise. See you guys in a minute.
Oh, God.
I'm asking you to open your heart to chaos.
I'm either very unlucky or cursed, and I don't believe in luck.
I am your god. Long may I reign.
I want to unlock these mysteries. I want to dive as deep as I can into that ocean of the unknown.
I am of the Empire, but I am no friend to the Empire.
I protect him. He's my boy.
There should be at least one new one for the new merch.
You need me more than I need you.
We may be heroes that no one knows about.
Come on.
Mighty Nine, all new original series coming to Prime Video.
Gods above us.
Dragons attacking together.
It's like the end of the world.
And what exactly is the plan against 4 dragons?
Fuck! Shit! Uh-oh.
This is gonna be fun.
I am very flammable!
How about we get a drink?
I hope you fall into lava, asshat!
Oh, that's a new record. Usually takes us 10 minutes to get kicked out of a palace.
Vox Machina. These weapons were created to strike down the gods. Find them to defeat the dragons.
I got a beard!
We pissed it off.
We don't have that effect on people.
We're trying to save the world! Look out!
You are super fucked up.
That's new.
We need to get inside that dragon.
You're a mouthful of acid, no way.
The other way.
Oh, God.
The Legend of Vox Machina. Watch now, only on Prime Video.
My balls are ice cubes. What are you...
Don't you worry, Uncle Grumpy is gonna keep you warm.
This is actually kind of cozy.
Bounce, we go.
Hey critters, Laura
Yeah.
Bailey here to guide you through what's new
I got a
in the
feeling after
Critical
this will
Role
be
shop.
the last Tuesday.
Style should never be a dumpster, darling.
My sister might like that.
I mean, the Traveler always says impulse purchases are a good decision.
I got too many t-shirts from there already.
It's so cute. I can't handle it.
My sister would definitely love those though.
The cuteness, it's overpowering. You need this?
You probably need this.
Roll an investigation if you want. It's basically perfect.
This is a lot of stuff, you guys. We have like so many.
I think this is gonna be it now. So,
And hey, if you want, you could head over to the Critical
thank you for
Role
joining us
shop right now.
for this part 1. We'll continue on with this later. Until then, yeah, basically all of us. But then, this is Free Night Reading Adventure, which you good fortune.